Which is why you'll fuck around and find yourself comfortable thinking about anybody else more than you're thinking about yourself. And it's not about thinking about yourself, but allowing yourself to focus on something outside of yourself. When everything is you, first of all. I'm gonna tell you like this. You can't help but think about people you love, but you can't help but to think about people you love. Because really, if you are advancing your thinking, if you are developing your thoughts, right? You can't be satisfied with having somebody to think about. You can't be satisfied with knowing someone or knowing of them or associating with them, being acquainted with their persona basically. You know them for a reason. You met them a particular way. What brought you together? And what kept you together? Was it the thoughts of themselves that keep you together? And really, is it really the thoughts of them? Or is it the thought of yourself anyway? And how they make you feel? Or how they help you to feel more comfortable feeling? Or the feelings the thought of them remind you of? Or the feelings the thought of them remind you of? So when I say as far as it's all connected, but it's either in each other's favor or against each other's favor, right? That's zero. I got somebody there with me. I'm thinking about her. She thinking about me, but that's not the only thing we're thinking about. And it's not that's not what we're thinking about mostly, because that's what love is, right? But are you a thinker to allow yourself to have anybody on your mind? But are you a thinker? Okay? Because if not, then how smart is all of this hard work you're doing, right? Are you worth knowing? Are you a quality person? Right? Because if so, that means that you focused on achieving, on developing yourself, on growing, on advancing your level within yourself, even just personally, whether somebody noticed you or is thinking about you or not. However, to have someone that you've met, however you met them, whatever brought you together and whatever kept you together is a blessing. It's going to happen naturally just through life. However, what were you doing differently? And what are you doing now that you know them? Do they know the full of what it is that you seem to be doing? And if they did, would you like for them to be thinking of you as much as they are? Would you think they would like that you thinking of them as much as you are if they knew all that you're doing? Or is that something that you don't think about? Well, I wouldn't imagine that you would want to think about that. However, in focusing on a more worthy consideration, all of those trivial connections, trivial aspects are neutralized, right? As well as integrated and harmonized towards a more fuller and balanced experience. Okay? Which is why you feel like you're doing something the more people you know. Which is why you feel like you're doing something by having people with you on their mind. Which is why you feel like you're doing something when it comes to attention in one direction or the next, whether you get an attention or give an attention. You feel like you're doing something. When if you're not doing something outside of that, in addition or even in relation to that, that is universally evolving, that is universally balance that is universally thoughtful, considerate, unrelated, unbiased, unfucking categorized, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Then really you're taken away from the fuller spectrum of it, right? And them is steps, them is adding momentum. That's more fucking weight on your steps, right? That's how them steps become you working harder against yourself at that point, doing some stupid shit, working harder even when that is your key. That is a support. It's supposed to be a support towards centering. It's supposed to be a joint effort, right? A co-operation, cuz is what it's supposed to be. And it is that even when it seems that it ain't. And it's all in how you look at it, especially when it's the right type step, smart and hard, then it's that a lot of times you be neutralizing it times 10 against the 10 singles in the wrong approach. Like I said, sometimes you gotta take 20 steps back in order to take 21 steps forward, right? And it takes you taking all of them 20 steps back in order just to make them 21 steps forward. Otherwise, you'd be stuck in between 5 steps here, 7 steps back there, and then another 8 steps forward, but that's still less than the 5 steps you came from, leading to 2 steps, right? So you gotta do 20 dumb shits, as long as it ain't too hard, working too hard against yourself. Sometimes you gotta allow dumb shit sometimes. Sometimes you do. Sometimes. You know? But as far as what I'm saying, it's like thinking of somebody, right? That's how you can allow yourself to get mixed up in all of the fucking particulars. Getting mixed up in all the particulars, you know, and it's very difficult, especially for the youth, especially for the impressionable, because they just want to belong, man. They just want to belong. You know, they want to be able to be proud and feel some sort of self-worth and can contribute to a cause and to something meaningful and epic and, you know what I mean, and different and special, you know what I'm saying? And that's great. And everything that it can be that would be good, it's good in every way in every way, not just some ways. All right, so that could be your map, yo. It's like we can start where we are, but it's going to pick up momentum. Just don't deflect it. Don't work so hard against yourself by saying, well, look, I want this because I have to protect this. No, yo. First of all, if you thinking about somebody else, and this is the point I'm gonna make real quick. If you not focused on yourself, at least 52% more than you focused on them, you really focus more on yourself. Because why are you focused on them? So you can do for them, right? You can help them and support them. How you gonna support them if you ain't your full spectrum? Number one. Okay? Now, secondly, you thinking about them, yes? Are you thinking about them, or are you thinking about how you feel because of your thoughts of them? Because if you was thinking about them, you would be everything that you can be so as to accent them, right? You would be thinking about other things more so that whatever thought you have of them, you would understand deeper. Out of respect for your thoughts of them. You're gonna be thinking about shit you would never think about just in case you should not be thinking about her. You should not be thinking about her. Because it's not her fault. If you shouldn't be thinking of her and you are, that's your fault. It ain't her fault. If she thinking about you more than she thinking about herself, that's your fault. motives, balance, options, modes of operation.